I'm 55 years old. My car is up for sale. I've borrowed some money. I've cashed in a modest pension and I've basically just gone all in on this camper van. With our family dog, Bella, I am going to be taking off around the UK, exploring the coastline and having adventures, documenting everything as I go. I may be just about to make the biggest mistake of my life, or it's going to be the adventure of a lifetime. So I want to put this into context. What is the reality of this situation? What am I leaving behind? I'm leaving behind being close to where my children live. Since their dad and I split up and got a divorce 6 years ago, I've never been further than 7 miles away from them. We've had 50-50 co-parenting going on. But more recently, they've been living with their dad and their stepmom, and I have been living with my partner, Mark. We've been together 3 years now and have lived together for the past year. And so for the next 12 months, that is all going to change and our relationships are going to be evolving, both with Mark and, of course, with the children. And let me tell you, that is definitely a big one. But it's time. Like most women my age, the last 22 years of my life have been all about everyone else. Marriage, bringing up children, running my own business. And I wouldn't have changed any of that. I loved being that centerpin of family life and everything that was going on with all of us. My role was defined and I loved every single minute of it. But now that chapter, as it was, has closed. And now it's time for something different. Now, today also marks an anniversary. It's 20 years since my then husband and I returned to the UK, having lived in Dubai for 4 years. And it wasn't the plan to stay here for 20 years, but it made sense and all the decisions were right to do so. I grew up on the South Coast. I moved to London and then to Dubai and then came to the Midlands. And I'd always said that I would return to the coast at a later date. Now, I really thought that that was going to be Cornwall or North Devon because I absolutely love it down there. I love bodyboarding. I love the place. The people are amazing as well. And so I always thought that when the time was right, especially after divorce, that was where I was going to go. But last year, Mark took me to Scotland. We went to explore Skye. We did a little bit of the Outer Hebrides. And obviously I saw a little bit of Western Scotland as well. And my heart was stolen. I absolutely loved it. So that sparked a whole bunch of questions. What else have I not seen? What else is out there? And I am very much a person who believes in, you know what, you have to create the things that you want to be doing. And if you don't know what you want, most of us get to a point where we do know what we don't want. And I know that whilst my time in the Midlands has been great and it's a fabulous place, I do know that my next chapter is somewhere near a beach. I love coastal hiking and I am happiest when I'm in water, underwater, swimming in it, or just by it. I love it. And so this seemed like a natural thing to do. Now, when I turned 55, I took a look at my pension. And whilst it isn't enough by any means for me to be living comfortably for the next few years, I realised that it very much was enough to really help me be able to get enough together to be able to get this van. And sometimes we need these things, right, to really spark us. I am totally inspired. I want to meet as many people as possible, especially if they are doing something like this as well, doing something out of the ordinary, something that's very different to how their lives have been. My life is going to be very, very different. I'm going to have to get used to an awful lot of things, living in a tiny space, having Bella with me all the time, but I can't wait and I am so up for it. So Mark and I are very much treating this as I'm going to be going away for a year to work. And that seemed to just feel naturally okay. He is going to be coming out to see me as often as he can and join me on parts of the journey. So I'll be looking forward to that. And so now it feels like we're both up for looking at uncertainty in a very different way. And if whatever we decide to do in the future, I want to be entering that in a very equal way. And this just seems like a perfect way to be able to really discover who I am now. Who am I after divorce, after my mum dying 3 years ago? So much has changed in the last 6 years of my life. So this is time for me to catch up with myself a little bit and see what is next. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a 9 to 5 job. I don't have any ties. And sometimes it's very, very easy for us to just make excuses about why we need to just stay the same. So I'm no stranger to starting over in various different ways. I love change. I love change of environment, and I am always thinking of new things to do. But this represents something very different. Now seems to be a window in my life where this is the perfect opportunity to do something like this. And isn't it just the way that when something is a little bit scary, it's quite difficult to actually make that commitment and make it happen. But after a series of events earlier this year, I just felt everything was signaling for me to go ahead and do this. So this has been great fun, just thinking about what are the kind of things I want to be doing. I don't know what's in store, but one thing I do know is this. Sometimes you have to put yourself out there to create opportunities, to give opportunities the chance to come your way so that you can see what you might want to do. This is an opportunity where I can do something really different, and I want to take it, because if I don't take it, what does it become? There are no reasons for me not to do this right now. So whilst it's hard when your children don't need you in the same anymore, and if you've gone through something like divorce, it changes you in a way that sometimes you just don't expect. I love going with intuition. And when this idea started to form, it became really, really crystal clear. And so I've learned to trust that I do know things. And when we have ideas, often I find I get an idea and it's really easy to dismiss it because it feels a bit like too much out there, or no, I can't do that because of whatever. And we come up with a whole host of reasons why we can't do them. Well, at 55, I'm now beginning to get to a stage where I'm like, why not? Let's do it. Give it a go. And then you'll know. That's very much a phrase for me. So I'm going with this. Now I've got my head around all of this. I'm going to be packing up the van. I'm sure I'm going to be taking too much stuff, but I would love for you to come and join me, especially if there is something that you want to do that's different. It doesn't have to be van life and traveling in the UK and working online. It could be something completely different, but maybe you've had an idea of something you would like to do and you're in a phase right now where you feel you can't do it. I hope to inspire you. So in all honesty, I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know what is going to happen next, but what I do know is this: life is short. We can blink and 5 years has gone by just coasting along. Life is there to be lived. So let's go do it. But for now, I've got a van to pack up, I've got maps to check out, and I'm going to have to start getting better being on camera. So if you subscribe, I promise you that I will do my very best to make the best videos I possibly can, to entertain as best I can, and to share some of the experiences and the lessons that I'm going to learn, because I'm sure there's going to be many of them. So I hope to see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.